Hello everyone, and welcome to Galaxy 89 Cars. Today, I'm taking you on an in-depth exterior and interior tour and presenting the exhaust sound of this 2024 Aston Martin DB12. DB12 follows on from DB11, bringing many changes over its predecessor and aims to provide a more dynamically capable and polished product. DB12 has a total length of 4,725mm, width of 2,135mm, height of 1,295mm, and has a curb weight of 1788 kg, with a 48 front and 52 rear weight distribution. Moving from the overview to the powertrain, where we must first go into the passenger footwell on this right-hand drive car and pull the small red catch. This pops the bonnet, so as we move around to the front, we only need to move the catch before lifting it up in the usual direction, whereas it was a reverse opening in DB11. DB12 is powered by a front-mounted 4-litre twin-turbo V8 that produces 675 brake horsepower and 800 Nm of torque. This represents an increase of 45 horsepower or 100 Nm of torque over DB11. This power output results in a 0 to 62 mph or 100 km/h time of 3.6 seconds, and a top speed of 202 mph or 325 km/h. Taking a closer look at the engine, we find the hand built-in plaque mounted on top of the engine cover. Looking up, we find heat protection on the underside of the bonnet, and the central vent that helps to channel air to cool the turbos. On either side of this, we can see the underside of the bonnet vents that help to release hot air from the engine bay. Now we're finished in the engine bay, the bonnet can be easily secured below. DB12 sits on these lightweight forged 21-inch multi-spoke alloys at the front and rear that are one of 8 options. They come with tyres that have been specifically developed for this car that have sound dampening qualities for a more quiet ride. DB12's braking force is provided by 400mm 6-piston ventilated front discs, with 360mm 4-piston rear discs that also help provide a dynamic torque vectoring function. DB12 gets its stability from front independent double wishbones and a rear multi-link setup, all paired to coil springs, anti-roll bars and adaptive dampers. I will now cover the exterior design elements of DB12, making comparisons to DB11 as I go. DB12 carries the front length bottom lip forward from DB11, but now comes with lower splitters on either side, finished here in carbon fibre. There is still a grille above the lip, but it now rises up on either side, presumably to provide enhanced cooling to the front radiators and brakes. The main central grille maintains the distinctive inverted wings badge shape and has also grown, presumably once again to enhance cooling. It now comes with more sensors for enhanced safety. The headlights above now embody more of a teardrop shape than before, and come with a daytime running system made from 6 rectangles that project the white LED light. Below, there are 2 new LED matrix beam headlights. Between the headlights, we find the legendary wings badge that can be specified in different finishes. Now looking at the top of the bonnet, we find 2 extra dynamic lines running from top to bottom. The outer vents found in DB11 have gone, with the central vents being all that remain here. The windscreen is naturally back from this, with 2 wipers that raise in opposing directions. DB12 has a smooth, featureless roof, as was with DB11. The bold pillars either side of the roof seem to have grown slightly, and can be specced in carbon as seen here. Moving down, we also find the signature side vents remain. These help to release turbulent air from within the wheel arches, enhancing stability. Moving up, the electrically adjustable wing mirrors still project outwards on thin struts, but here, the struts seem longer and the mirror body appears slightly smaller. However, the mirrors themselves are more seamless than before, so the area of the glass might be the same. The full-length side skirts remain, but they are now met by a second skirt above that blends into the body towards the rear. The gap at the front remains, and also helps to streamline turbulent air. As we move back, we find the long, now heavily tinted rear window also remains. On the top of the right wheel arch, we find the petrol cap for the 78-litre petrol fuel tank. DB12's official combined MPG is 23.2. Behind the long, sloping rear window, we come to the aero blade, which was also found in DB11. Air is taken from the vents behind the rear windows, and released here to help push the rear of the car down. As we move down, we find another wings badge and branding. And on either side of this, the wraparound reverse lights are very similar to those in DB11. The rear diffuser area also looks quite similar, with its pinch segments at the top, exhaust either side, flowing top and bottom sections that get closer in the middle, and the wide, flat diffuser at the bottom. Now we've finished the exterior portion of the tour, we can move inside. The current generation Aston Martins no longer have a glass emotional control unit, but they do have a very solid feeling key, topped with a wings badge. With the car unlocked, we can get a brief look at the front and rear LED running lights. To move inside, we need to pull the integrated handles out and open the swan door. The interior is where we see the biggest changes from DB11 to DB12, with an entirely new layout and design that we will explore in detail as we progress. We can start with the interior of the doors, where we find a smooth leather upholstered panel at the top. The central carbon insert features a chrome strip leading to the door release and a vent. There is a padded leather insert above the leather upholstered armrest, where we find the first speaker from the optional Bowers & Wilkins system. Moving along the armrest below, we eventually come to the boot release, electric window and mirror controls. There is a slim storage compartment at the bottom. As we move into the car, we come first to the sill kickplate that is topped by a model plaque. As we move along this area, we see the pedals on the footwell, with the exterior light controls and parking brake above, and the first manually adjustable air vent. Looking up, we see the slim leather upholstered sun visors. Between these, there is a control panel with the main interior lights and their controls, speakers, and the SOS button. Below this, we come to the slimline auto-dimming rearview mirror. Now sitting in the driver's seat, we can take a look at the new steering wheel. Here, it is upholstered in smooth leather, with touch and scroll controls for the cruise control system to the left, horn central, and controls for the driver's instruments, volume, and calls to the right. With the key inside the car, it can be turned on by pressing the circular button in the central column. We can now hear the exhaust, first in normal, then in sport. Now back inside the car, we can view the new 10.25-inch TFT driver's display. On the right, we can view radio info, navigation, media options, phone connectivity, and vehicle info, such as service schedule and oil level. In the centre, we can view speed and revs when driving. To the left, we can see mileage, range, and the trips. But we can also select the same options as on the right-hand side to ensure full customization. Looking behind this at the dash, we see extended leather, 3 elevated speakers, and the instrument dial hood. Moving down in the centre, we come to a straight strip that features stitching and 3 manually adjustable air vents. Below this strip, we find the new 10.25-inch TFT infotainment touchscreen that is very responsive. The driving modes, Wet, GT, Sport and Sport Plus, are now very configurable. Here we can also see a more detailed live telemetry of power, torque and battery voltage. In Assistance, we can view and adjust the extensive list of assistance systems. Lights comes next. Here we can customize the colour and intensity of the new ambient lighting system that can be found around the cabin. Courtesy lighting can also be adjusted here. In Vehicle, we find features such as door locking, auto mirror folding, and winter tyre settings. Parking comes last. Here the sensors and cameras can be adjusted. There is also a quick select column to the left. The second menu is for the various media options, including Apple CarPlay. As we move down it, we come to the navigation screen next, that is fully adjustable and very responsive. The two final options are for phone connectivity and the customizable home screen. Below the screen, we come to the new central console. There is a row of buttons at the top for ventilation, hazard lights, and locking. To the left, we find two rotaries for the left climate control zone, with heat seating, ESC, exhaust valves, and suspension below. In the centre, we come to the start-stop button and the controls for the rear-mounted 8-speed ZF automatic transmission that comes with an E-differential for better rear-end control. To the right, there are rotaries for the right climate zone, with seat heating, screen on-off, and parking sensors and camera. There is an open storage area below this that offers wireless charging. Coming back up and now moving back, we find two cup holders behind the control array. There is a quilted armrest back from this that can be opened up to reveal the main central storage area, offering dual USB inputs and a 12-volt socket. On either side of the central column, we find the electrically adjustable seats, here upholstered in quilted leather with contrast embroidered headrests. Seating movement and memory controls can be found on the sides of the central column. To view or access the rear of the interior, the front seats can be moved by raising the pulley and moving them forward, where they will automatically roll forward. Each rear seat is built into the rear and separated by a large Bowers & Wilkins speaker. There is also a single light above. To return to the front seats, they need to be pulled back before letting them auto-relocate. Now we've finished inside the car, we can view the boot. They can be unlocked using the button we saw earlier, or the key. The boot offers 262 litres of capacity, and has a wide opening that results in easy access. There are also indentations on either side to enhance capacity. Here, we can also see the vents for the rear aeroblade above the boot opening. When finished here, the boot lid can be closed manually. So that concludes my in-depth exterior and interior tour and exhaust sound video of this 2024 Aston Martin DB12. Thank you again to HWM Aston Martin for allowing me to film their car. Their contact information can be found in the description of the video. Please subscribe for the latest content, and until next time, thanks for watching.